Hello, good evening and welcome. It is 8 o'clock on a Saturday night here in a very damp and drizzly Folkestone, which is 70 miles southeast of London. Hope you've had or are having a good day. Today I want to talk about feedback as failure. I was actually quite a little bit reluctant to do this one because if we're not careful, we can turn this into an excuse not to progress. So what do I mean feedback as failure? Well, it's really simple, okay? We all make mistakes. We've all made mistakes in the past and we're all going to make mistakes in the future. And I have made more than my fair share of mistakes, okay? Now I'll put my hand to that straight away. The thing is though, that's not so much of a problem providing you learn from the mistakes. And this is where I was a bit reluctant tonight because I don't want this to be, oh, it's okay, I made a mistake, I can just carry on. No, it's not about that. It's about taking that mistake and, like I put in the post I made earlier, using our mistakes as learning opportunities. And what I mean is, okay, we mess up, yeah? And instead of going, oh my God, woe is me, I've made a mistake and I've screwed up again, please forgive me. I'm saying, yeah, you've made the mistake and feel the woe is me stuff for a couple of minutes, but then sit down and think about what you did wrong. Okay, I'll give you a couple of really big examples. When I left school at the age of, I think it was 16, 15 and a half, 16, I came out with very little in the way of certificates and grades and all that kind of thing. For the very simple reason that, you know, I didn't learn, I didn't pay attention, I didn't do my homework and all that kind of stuff. At the time, I didn't know any better. And it was only when I got older that I realised that, okay, regardless of what you think of education, the education system and the subjects they teach, it gives you a bloody big advantage to go through school, work hard, get the bits of paper, and then when you leave school you have opportunities, you have choices. Yeah, when you leave school with very little, you have fewer choices. And I didn't learn this, and this I went through this maybe 2 or 3 times in my life before I actually went and said, Paul, you need to, you know, knuckle down and do the work, because otherwise there's no point. There's absolutely zero point. And that was one of the biggest mistakes, was going through my school, making all the excuses, not letting that. I could blame the system, I could blame my parents, I could blame everything. But that doesn't get you anywhere, okay? You have to face yourself in the mirror squarely and say, yeah, okay, it was down to me. I screwed up, okay? End of story. Then move forward. Just go with it and move forward and get on with things. Last year, 2018, I learned a lot of different things. I tried a lot of different stuff and I went a long way. But last year I made 2 huge mistakes, which I'm not going to bore you with, but just to be realistic here, there were 2 really big mistakes that I made. They were different mistakes, but they were 2 big mistakes. And while I was in the middle of them, I didn't realize I'd made them. But once I'd finished and got out of it, I looked back, literally, I looked back and went, Paul, that was a big mistake. And I went, yeah, it was a big mistake, wasn't it? And I actually sat down and I got a pen and a paper, and I actually, you know, this is a bit manic maybe, but I sat down and I sort of listed all the things I'd screwed up in this one mistake. And because I'd written it down and because I'd sat and thought about it, I know now that I will not make that particular mistake again. Thankfully, it was a very expensive mistake, shall we say. And that's what I'm saying to you. Now this is, you know, whether you've got a problem with drinking, whether you're eating too much, whether you're smoking, whether you're doing other stuff, yeah, and you relapse or you get into a pattern and you, like I talked about last night, you know, the treadmill, you get on the treadmill, and if you manage to step off for 1 minute, yeah, or 1 day or 1 month or whatever, just take the time and go, okay, before I get back on that treadmill, let's have a think about how I messed up here and try and put it right. Because otherwise you just go on and make the same mistake. I did this for years. I was, you know, 20 stone near enough at one stage. That's what, 220 pounds. And unfortunately, that wasn't muscle. If I was, 20 stone, it was all like muscle, I'd be a happy man. But it wasn't. It was all fat. It was round here and on my belly, and I had man boobs as well. And it was only to I realised that one day I was trying to walk up some stairs and I got out of breath after about 4 steps. And I looked at myself and went, Paul, look at the state of you. This is a real mess. We've got to sort it out. And I actually realised that, it's fairly obvious. The mistake was I was eating way too much and there was way too much of the wrong stuff. I was getting no exercise. I was doing all these kinds of things. But I recognised I made the mistake and, I did something about it. And it's taken me a while, but I got out of that and I just moved forward. Because this, failure as feedback is about moving yourself forward and learning from what went wrong and putting it right. It's as simple as that, yeah? Because otherwise you could be sitting here listening to me when you're 95 and just spent the last 40, 50, 60 years going through the same thing, the same repetition, mistake, regret, mistake, regret, mistake, regret, mistake, regret. And one day you've actually got to, you've got to say to yourself, okay, that's it, time out, time out. Let's stop the wheel from turning for a while. Let's just figure out where I'm going wrong. And that's great. That's what, that's what I'm hoping for with these videos, that you look at yourself and say, yeah, okay, I've been going down the wrong road. I need to put on the right road now. I need to sort myself out. I need to get stripped, get moving, get going, and put the past behind me. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Look at your past mistakes, look at where you've messed up, look at where you've screwed up, look at where you've gone wrong, and figure out a way of turning that into a positive. Okay, what can I take from that? What can I learn from that? And then use that to move forward. Seriously, just use it to move forward. And one big mistake I see people making when I talk to them and when I read their posts in various groups is people are kind of swapping one addiction for another. And that's not good. It's not helping anybody. And what I mean is, say for example, you're drinking too much and then you quit drinking, but then you get the cravings. Instead of just dealing with the cravings for what they are, which is a little psychological response, which are fairly easy to deal with, yeah? We think, oh no, I've got a craving now, I need sugar, I need sugar, I need sugar. And then we start, filling our faces full of chocolate and stuff. And we now got to switch from one addiction to another addiction. And we haven't learned the lesson. We haven't learned from the past mistake. And then you just like building another problem. So before you move into something, look at it and say, okay, am I walking into a mistake here? Is this the right move for me? And it only takes a few minutes. I'm not asking you to write, a book or a novella or an essay or anything like that. Just take a couple of minutes. Just step back for a second and say, okay, is this the right move? I've been dry for 6 months or a month or a week or a year or whatever, yeah? Is going to have that one drink the right thing for me? Honestly, yeah? Be honest with you. It doesn't matter whether you tell me or you believe me or whatever. I'm just thinking about you and your future and what you're trying to achieve. You've done really good work up until now. Don't mess it up. Don't let something small, inviting and maybe pleasurable mess things up for you. Just take a minute and go, okay, that's a good move, that's not a good move. And then, make a different move. It's as simple as that, really. And that is it. All I'm saying out of all of this is use your past mistakes as feedback. Find what the learning opportunity was or is, and then move forward with it. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Paul. I help people that have got a problem with some kind of addiction, put that addiction right, get it into the past, and then take back control of their lives and move forward onto bigger, brighter, better things. If you want to talk to me, send me a PM or make a comment here. If you've got somebody you think could use my help or could use the information in all these videos that I'm doing, send them a link or get them to PM me or just, tag them in one of the videos, whichever way is easiest for you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, Sunday night, 8 o'clock London, GMT, UK time, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon, evening. Bye.